Here we are at Abbotsford Convent, which is the home for Talentpalooza 2025. I am joined with Adam Axon, who is one of our fabulous workshop hosts. And we've had a great conversation as we've toured the facility today about the world of HR at the moment. So Adam, give me your take on what you think the big ticket items around the problems HR is trying to solve at the moment, or what our challenges are.
Yeah, so I think we exist at the moment in a little bit of a crisis of value. We've endured years of redundancies and budget cuts and lots of things kind of like making questioning our value, making us maybe even question our own value. And so, there are lots of factors, there's lots of change, we have AI coming in, and I actually think we are at a pivot point where we need to be asking, what our value is, and looking at different ways in which we can maybe approach our work.
Yes.
Specifically, I think for me, it's really two things. It's like, we have anchored ourselves to poor performance. Like, call me when something goes wrong. For me, it's like this is now a time for us to anchor ourselves to like high performance, elite performance. Like, if the CEO says, wow, I really need to like improve the outcomes of the company, the first person they should talk to is the people team and say, help me understand human dynamics so we can like get better results.
And when I was putting together Talentpalooza, it was very much about the fact that HR people do need to completely rebel against the police, the procedure, the policy type of HR. And part of that is actually being able to influence up to the CEO. But it seems that there's a lot of people in HR that have no idea of how to do it. What would be some of the things that you think we could be looking at now?
Yeah, so I think a lot of it starts with one question, which is, how is what I'm doing helping enable people to deliver the mission of the company? And I feel like a lot of the times, not just actually HR, to be fair, I think this is true of almost any role, but in HR we tend to get like criticized for that a little bit more. I feel like we're guilty of just doing things for the sake of doing things. We're guilty of just like measuring activity. If we ask ourselves that question, how is what I'm doing helping the company like better achieve its mission? It's just a nice little reframing that I think starts the journey to then look outside, seek other sources of inspiration.
And one of the things that you're doing a workshop on is something that there's a lot of people actually really excited about, which is Lean PX, Lean People Experience. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to like lead, people teams in startup and scale up environments, and work with some really clever product thinking people that have built products that have tremendous like customer advocacy and loyalty, and started to think, hey, I wonder if there's something in the way that they work that we could apply in our space. And so Lean PX is about applying like product thinking, sort of like lean startups, with people experience practices to really sort of design those environments that enable better outcomes. And so the workshop is going to be just about like working through how do you start very small, how do you take those principles and start to apply it in the work that you do.
And it's definitely one workshop I'm going to get involved in because I think it's just such an important topic. So folks, if you want to join us here at the beautiful Abbotsford Convent, tickets are available now. It's on the 26th and 27th of March. And in between all of the talks, take a moment to stroll around these beautiful gardens and down to the Yarra River. You and I are both locals. This is our haunt. And we would love to welcome you here.
Yeah, I think this space is like super special. This has been around for like a very long time, and this space now, if you're not familiar with it, is really like a hallmark of makers and creators, people challenging the status quo, and really trying to build something new. And so I cannot think of a better venue for something like Talentpalooza, where we're trying to change our thinking, embrace new ideas, than this like sensational, building and gardens, and it's really one space you can come to in Melbourne that feels like what Melbourne would have been before you know, kind of like we turned it into a big city. So super special space for a super special event.
And if it's a really hot day like today, the Yarra River is just down the hill. You can go and take a quick dip.
Yeah, I wouldn't take a dip just down there. That water's probably not great, but there is a swimming hole up the road a little bit that's maybe a little bit better.
Adam, thank you very much for your
You're
time,
welcome.
and I will see you at Talentpalooza.
Looking forward to it.
Thanks.